This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio. PHLV Radio.
Hello, good evening. It's Friday night here in the Pacific or where I'm at in Los Angeles. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. If you're watching us from the Philippines, it is Saturday at 12 noon. So magandang tanghali, and as always, I hope you are having a wonderful lunch with your friends, family, loved ones, and significant others. And if you're watching us from different parts of the world, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And those our team replay. Nako, happy viewing sa inyong lahat. Nako, this is a very, very important, one of the most anticipated na episode for tonight, and we already postponed it I think twice because of some technical difficulty, and I got sick too at the same time, but I'm trying to get better. But it's time because this is a timely thing for us. Alam ko, and we'll continue sharing that with you in a minute. But before anything else, we're live on different podcasts, namely Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Also, we are live simultaneously on PHLB Radio Facebook page and airing at the same time PHLB Radio YouTube channel. And if you have Alexa, all you have to do is say, Alexa, play PHLB Radio. And if you're using Amazon Fire TV, just look for PHLB Radio channel. So as always, you could always watch us on PHLB Radio YouTube channel if you missed it. And if you're not a subscriber yet, what are you waiting for? All you have to do is like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to be notified of all the shows happening with PHLB Radio, just click on that notification bell so you will be always notified when we are on with different shows that the PHLB has to offer. Nako, talagang this is gonna be exciting time tonight because we have not one, not two, but three guests today. At this one is very special, and they are coming live from Houston, Texas. So I'm keeping them awake and up because the difference is, I think, 2 hours. So it's almost midnight there. Well, it's like 9 p.m. here in California, in LA. But in Houston, I think there's 2 hours ahead of us. So it's almost midnight. So two of them were already guested already in our shows. In this show before, but one is the tech person and my inaanak and rolled into one. He's also a genius when it comes to photography. Of course, you already know about one of the highly respected and very popular Catholic priest. And without much further ado, let me introduce to you the singing Catholic priest, none other than Father J.M. Barrosa. So and of course, next to him, it's always another my inaanak. It's she goes by two names. One is Marita, and the other one is Tamarit. So I guess it's Tita Marisa or whatever. And she is, of course, a musical film director, and she has all this. And I would not go to her credentials anymore because we did that the last time. But she is a musical inclined professor, teacher, and she has the, I think, music are us or something, but that they just got in, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But the newbie, we call it our new guest here for the first time. He was technically on last time, but he was in the background. He was doing all the sound system and all that, and I like what I said earlier. He's the tech person, photographer, and all rolled into one. But most importantly, he's an entrepreneur, and that's not other than my other guest. Special guest today or tonight is none other than Ferdie Mendoza. Hi, Ferdie.
Hey, John. Hi, how are you?
Okay, let's start first from greetings first. Si Father Barrosa, Father JM first. JM kasi is Julian Michael. So, but he goes by Father JM. Very popular in the Houston area. So, go ahead, Father JM.
Good evening sa inyong lahat na mga nakikinig sa mga tagahanga ni Kuya Josh and to all the Filipino people and all the audience. Thank you for inviting us once again to share some of our some things about our experience on the Holy Land and also to just to be with you is be part of this program is a great experience. Something
Wow.
to look forward.
So, well, Father, since you already kind of said something about it before we give it to Marita, yeah, definitely this is a high time because a lot of people, I think we will be, like what I said, not only we will watch, but we will be blessed because what you're gonna share. You guys, yung mga nanonood o manonood, grabe. You have to see this because most of us, it's in our bucket list before we even passed on to this world. We have to go visit the Holy Land, and not only because we're Catholic or you're Christian, but it's really not only historical, but it's good for your soul. And we'll hear more about that. And I have a gazillion of questions for these three people who experienced it, and we're gonna pick their brain and we're gonna make sure that we get all the answers that we want. Eto na, ano na to, labo-labo na tayo later. But for anything else, we're gonna give the floor a little, just to give her some chance to greet everybody, the Filipinos abroad, and none other than Marita Mendoza. Go ahead,
Hello
Marita.
everyone. Good evening. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Especially our friends from Holy Land. They're listening and watching right now.
Okay, si Erlinda Gulayan Cercado. Erlinda, sa niya, hello Sir Josh. Erlinda is the mother of the Fourth Impact and we're gonna guest them soon here. And she's watching and hopefully how are you guys? Eunice Isagan. Oy, Eunice. Eunice is a friend of ours also watching from Houston, Texas. Nako, Eunice, nagpapakapuyat ka, but this is gonna be worth it. And belated happy birthday. Of course, no none other than they call her the Madame Louis Vuitton of Houston, Texas. None other than Lisa Isagan, or definitely the lovely wife of my good friend, uh, the Sosa. Okay.
Ilumbong.
Okay, so M Dance is watching, si Ernie is watching from the Philippines. Hello to everybody. Yung mga manonood, nako, you are on for a surprise. So before anything else, I think merong special number sa atin si Father JM, yung ating singing Catholic priest. So Father JM will give you the floor. He's gonna give you a very very special song na parang it will open the whole interview natin sa kanila. So parang pampabuenas yata in a way, simply because not only will be blessed para matanggal ang mga nervyos nila. And then before I give the floor to Father JM, Makoy Marcos and Tudicios watching us from Laguna. Hello Makoy, how are you? How's everybody? And hopefully everybody is doing well in the province of Laguna. Okay, go ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, without much further ado, let me give you the very popular, very dashing Catholic singing priest, none other than the Father J.M. Barrosa. Go ahead.
So again, just would like to share this song, which is which is which was composed by no other than Marita Mendoza. So thank you for sharing this song to us. The title of the song is Pinagpalang Kamay ng Diyos. But I would like to sing this in medley because he was able to translate it in Filipino, I mean in English and in Spanish. So rolled into one. So the beauty of the song, you know, is our experience of God's, the proclamation of God's love and mercy. So we try to put this together in Spanish and in Tagalog, English, and Spanish to remind us, first of all, that our faith was shared to us by the missionaries from Spain, and then I sing it in Tagalog, you know, to express our the goodness of God's love for us, and sharing it also in English to remind us that we have to share this faith that we have received from goodness of other people. So the title of this song is Pinagpalang Kamay ng Diyos. Okay. So let me just
So those while they're because just to let you guys know, we are still very live. You might think there's a lull because especially those people. But here we go.
pinagpalang kamay ng Diyos sa iyong buhay kami tinubos kahit kasalanan anumang karamdaman sa iyong awa kami pinuspos. O blessed hand of God, send us good news through your chosen one. Although we're suffering and sickness and in pain, with your faithfulness and grace, we are grateful. El sol sigue brillando en medio de la oscuridad se puede ver la fuerza y talento sí que me rodean por el poder de tu inmenso amor. Kay dakila ng may kapal, manalangin tayo't magdasal. Basta magtiwala, lahat ng biyaya sa ating buhay ay may katuparan. The sun will still keep on shining. In the midst of darkness, there's hope with you. Your strength and your power surround me with your love. You surround me with the power of your love, of your love. A la grandeza de nuestro Dios. Oremos y meditemos mientras contemos las bendiciones en nuestra vida. Todas tienen cumplimiento. Sa Diyos magtiwala, lahat ng biyaya sa ating buhay ay may katuparan. Thank you so much.
Well, for those people who have not heard him sing in the past, the confidence is amazing na. Hindi na nakakahiya. At multilingual singer na sa Tagalog, in English, and in Spanish. Oh my goodness. That is parang night and day ang performance. Siguro dapat yata mag-ano ka na, gawa ka na ng record. Pwede rin fundraising yan.
Nakaroon ng concert.
Yeah, pwede. And I think all your parishioners and all the supporters and fans sooner or later, nako, siguro dapat i-guest kita sa isang concert. Mag-open ka, di ba? We'll do that, especially when I have a show in Houston soon. Okay. Nako, this is the most interesting portion of the thing because as you have known and we have already advertised and promoted, this is a trip to the Holy Land because most of us, including myself, one of our my bucket list is to be able to go to the Holy Land. It's not easy because of what happened in the past few years of the pandemic and all that. And of course, there's a budget constraint, schedule constraint. First most, okay, and free-flowing to yung discussion natin before we're gonna show everybody, we're gonna show some videos and some pictures. But for now, I'll have some questions for you first na mga, I know, sabi ni Erlinda, and this is coming from the mom of the Fourth Impact. Wow, galing! Wow! Yeah, pwede na natin i-guess si Father. Si Father pag nag-show tayo sa Houston. Um, Now, ang question ko, was among the three of you, was this the first time? I know si Father James has been there so many times, right? How about that? Father, how many times have you been to the Holy Land?
Just twice, yeah.
This is twice. About si Marita?
Yeah, twice also.
Twice. And,
1998 with Father Sunny, the late Father Sunny Ramirez.
okay.
Yeah.
And then si Ferdie?
It
Twice.
was my first time.
Oh, first time. So you're the
Yeah.
virgin. Oh my God. That will I have some questions for you. So what was the thing? Because like Marita been there twice and Father Jen been there twice. You this is your first time. So when because well, for those who are not familiar, especially people across the globe, Marita and Ferdy, they're happily married and they just celebrated their is it 35 years or 25 years?
25th.
25, right?
Yeah.
25th year because that's why
His father
a lot of
who
people are
created
asking bakit they call me Ninong because I'm one of the Ninong including my good friend Nonoy Suniga. Marami kami so mga Ninong kami during their wedding. So that being said, how was it yung walk us to that Ferdy since ikaw yung pinaka newbie when you decided to go ano yung experience mo? How was that? I mean, pagdating mo, walk us to that, being that I want to see or I want to feel how it was like from your standpoint, from your eyes, through your eyes, being the first timer, being in that place.
Being there the first time, it was really an experience. Not only as being Catholic, and my wife being a very religious. It was so different when you look at all of these locations as well as places that we went through. Um, you only read it, or being discussed in the Bible, but when you see it by yourself, through your eyes, you see everything. It's actually unbelievable in the experience that you actually have. It's very very wonderful to go there. I recommend that everybody go over there. It was only not only religious, but mostly also being historical. Let's just put it this way. I was amazed to see places, locations, and everything, and walking almost 4 miles a day with my bad knee. I was able to survive.
Wow, just hearing you, because I know I would experience that hopefully next year, but just hearing you gives me goosebumps. Now, for Father JM, you've been there twice. Do you recommend? I mean, I know a lot of our Christian friends are asking, is it good to go part of a tour, or is it good to go to with a group that who has a priest with them or a minister, a pastor? In your eyes, on your experience, being you are a Catholic priest, do you recommend to do it on your own, or do you recommend to be part of a group?
Yeah, for me, I would rather go with a group because first of all, um, as an individual, I do not know the place, you know. So if there's somebody who knows it, of course, I was not the one who is describing or telling us about this historical significance of those places. But my role there as a chaplain. So there were places that we have to celebrate mass and discuss or put some give some inputs on the significance of the place in relation to our faith. So to have a priest, I think is also, I would recommend it. It's more advisable to to visit those places and then celebrate the Eucharist. Yeah.
Not only that, having a priest with you, we were able to actually hear mass every day on different locations, and most of these are very significant locations.
Yes.
I've
Yes.
seen that when you actually translate this into the word in the Bible, you wouldn't believe that we're actually having a mass in that location.
Right.
Wow.
So it was amazing.
Okay,
Having
before
a
anything
priest
else,
with you is
okay,
like an advantage
before
because they
anything else,
actually give you the privilege to actually hear mass.
wow. Before anything else, hello to Bobby Reyes. I think Bobby, you're watching also from Houston, Texas. You're watching us very late as well. Happy viewing to you. This is very exciting time. Now, Father, ito yung question. May question dito. May mga private messages dito sa isang phone ko. Ay, nahihiya yata. Sunny Francisco's watching us from Quezon City. Hello, Sunny. This is a topic that it's dear and close to everyone's heart. Father, what they're saying is, naku, pag may pare, walang ginawa kundi magmas at magrosaryo. How true is that?
Hindi lahat. May maraming mga interesting places na mapupuntahan at ma-enjoy niyo yung yung mass is somehow it brings us closer together. Uh, Praying as a community to thank God, to thank God for uh, for the goodness that we have experienced in that during that trip. But hindi lang po lahat misa at rosaryo ang ginagawa namin doon. Parang yun lang ang parang finale namin sa ito yung nagbubukod sa amin.
It was
It's
more of a highlight
the highlight of our,
for the day.
Okay.
and you are able to go closer, right at the center of that important place. Kung merong Eucharistic celebration. Otherwise, doon lang kayo sa labas katingin.
It's
But of
important to have
course,
the
there are,
mass.
as I said, there are other like gaya mga Pilipino, mahilig mag-shopping.
Alam mo, Father, that's the next question. May time mo ba mag-shop?
We only had time to shop, I think, for 2 days.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's more of actually because the Eucharist is the highest form of prayer.
Yes.
So if you have the Eucharist in your pilgrimage, it's something that you look forward to because in every day, well, we wake up as early as 5 because you have to be ready by 5:30. Have your breakfast at 6, and you have to be on the bus at 6:30. So it's kind of also part of your discipline. At the same time, when your eagerness is there, because especially for the first timers, when you go to the bus, you'll see the whole place, and it's more like an experience of being there, just like Mother Mary, just like Jesus and the apostles. They were able, you're able to actually step on those grounds and be on those places. Like, well, one is the Annunciation that's the very first church we went to, the Annunciation, where Angel Gabriel announced Mother Mary to be the Mother of God. So all this important. There's more. That's just first one. So maybe later on we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll show you some video in a while. Okay, Father JM, quick follow-up question. Can a non-Catholic join your group? And follow-up question for Marita and for Ferdie. Ang question, can you give us a range on how much it would cost so we could start saving?
Right.
Yes,
Fine.
there are some non-Catholic Christians. I mean, sorry, non-Catholic who joined us, and they were, we were also blessed with their company, because they were able to share, and we have listened from their point of view.
Wow.
And yeah.
Okay, as far as cost, Ferdy and Marita, is it easier? Is it? Give me a range. Don't give
Yeah,
us the full
it's.
price.
I
Like,
think father recommended her because she has been the trusted Amerisa travel. I'm talking about Nerissa Cledera. She was
yeah,
nice.
okay, hindi to sponsored ha.
No, nice enough
No.
for her to bring us there. So she actually gave us a really very reasonable price, which
Can
is
you give us a range na kung
yeah about 1900 for the
per
for the
person?
9 days.
Wow, per person.
The land, yeah, and
Okay,
then maybe the
now when you say
airfare is different.
1900, say 2000, does it include airfare?
No.
No, airfare is about 900 to 1100 depending on what date you're
So
going.
technically it's 3,000 for
About
the whole thing. Yeah, but at least for the and then
everything
does it
is
include
included.
meals? May meals
Yes.
na ba yan? All the
Uh,
three
that
meals?
that particular trip of ours, we had all the breakfast and all the dinners, and we had I think two lunch free. Two lunches. We had it's called Saint Peter's fish. It's tilapia. You're gonna have that.
Okay. Oh, may
We
nag-comment
have
dito.
that for free. That's our
Sabi niya, sabi niya, do they speak Tagalog? Yeah, marunong po kayo mag-Tagalog. Ano ba? Nag-ano lang po kasi kung whatever. We all, sabi niya, pero namin, si Roy Nick Hernandez. Hi, Roy Nick. Roy Nick is watching from Quezon City as well. Sabi ni Bobby Reyes, howdy to all of you. Bobby, I missed you during the fiesta. Di ko kayo nakita. So, so hello to you as well. Okay, eto na. Simulan natin. Tapos intermittently, may mga papakita tayong pictures. And then you tell us, or video, uh, Johan is of course the owner and doing the back office for me as always, yung technical support from Las Vegas where this station PHLV radio is based. So we're gonna show you a couple of pictures and you describe them to us and then so at least mabuno natin. So this will be a very interesting show because kayo yung nakarating doon eh. So it's a free flowing sa inyong tatlo. So we're gonna show show natin muna siguro mga pictures and then they'll describe that picture before we go to another slide. So go ahead, show because we got a bunch of pictures and then of course you guys this is yeah here we go. There's the first one. Are you guys seeing it? Okay, go ahead. Somebody describe this. Where this and what's going on?
yeah, yeah.
Nakaputi kayo lahat parang magpapari.
Okay, this is on the Caesarea Philippi. This is one of the great Christian uh, communities where they grow. And of course, these are very popular place during the time of Jesus. Is almost the center of their civilization.
Okay? Next picture. Ayan, meron pa tayong picture in picture. Ang galing talaga ng back office. Oh, there's another picture group naman to.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
think
same.
it's the same place.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yes. So it's again it's is one of the first days. That's the second day that we arrived in Holy Land. So this is basically the where the Christians gather. And as I said, there is a big amphitheater, and we are the yes the early civilization. We're very I don't know many cancers maybe done there gatherings.
One thing that you could observe when you were in this Colosseum was there's so many Christian um, I would just say tourists, not only tourists but also groups from churches to different locations in the states, and they were actually having their prayers and songs, yeah, in the Colosseum,
Right.
and they do the worshiping in the Colosseum, which is
Okay,
amazing because
it seems like there's a
um,
group of batch of you. How many people in that group that you guys went? Oh, here we go. But it seems like everybody's wearing white. White
Because
is
I
that a
think
uniform?
no, because I think this was after this we were supposed to have the wedding at Cana, so the couples will be blessed by Father to renew our vows
Yeah.
at the church of where the first miracle of Jesus happened at Cana.
Yes.
So the wedding was actually, and we
but
were
if,
asked to wear white.
yeah, if you actually go to Israel right now and you actually go to let's say to where we've been, you want to believe how many hundreds and thousands
Oh
of
yeah.
actually I would just say being in a pilgrimage from different countries are there every day. And that's one of the reasons why they actually ask us to be early so that we can actually go into these places early so that there will be not a lot of crowd.
A different.
Napakaraming tao. And not only that, thousands of buses on their
Right.
street. And they're zooming in and out, just like, they're driving Volkswagen.
No, is it safe now? Is it safe?
Yes,
Because
Yes.
how
yes,
we hear that,
yes.
sometimes it's people are not too happy to be traveling to that part because they said gonna be not as safe as other parts of the world. So
We
you
were
guys are
lucky.
there.
I
Uh,
think
We
I
were
think the locations where we've been at, it's actually a religious and historical places. You're actually safe in that location because everybody is actually taking, like they're trying to protect it. Kasi pag nag-away-away sila, let's say Israel, okay, nag-Palestinian or whatever, pag nag-away-away mga tao doon, it's actually a livelihood that's actually they're going to lose.
mm,
It's a livelihood. Everybody out there is actually either a tourist guide or working in a location where you could actually greet people every day.
okay,
To
if you
actually
see
lose this,
any of the
ano yung
slides
income
and
nila?
you want to talk about it, you could just say stop and we could go back because there's a lot of pictures that we're showing one after the other. So if there's anything that you want to discuss about that particular picture,
Mhm.
just let us know and we could always go back.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're showing and there's much more and there's some movie that we're gonna show as well or videos.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Hmm.
Okay, where are we at? Okay, this is like what's this going on here? There's
Again, this is in the
nearly.
Caesarea Philippi, the no, sorry, the Maritima, where the as I said, the early Christian communities are able to spread the word of God, because it's the center of civilization during that time, and you could see the aqueduct, the
yeah.
water, so the you are for me. Uh, I'm surprised about the wonder, of the engineering during that time. How people, despite of their lack of materials, lack of things, they were able to uh, build and come up with achieve that height of their civilization. Yeah.
Okay, when you fly in from say in your case Texas, how long did it take to get to Israel? Was
So
it a direct flight or was there a
there was
layover?
yeah, a connecting flight from here to Dallas, Washington D.C. And then from there we proceeded to Tel Aviv, Israel, and
Okay.
that was about 11 and a
11
half
hours.
hours.
And
Yes.
how many days did you guys stay there for the whole pilgrimage?
We actually had one day we stayed at the first hotel. We stayed for a day,
Hmm.
and then
Tel
we
Aviv.
Tel Aviv, and then we went to another spot, which was what was that place? There was another stay for another night, and then we already went to Jerusalem for
Okay,
the rest of the
walk us through
4 days.
that because I know you gave us a calendar. So just walk us through that on the day to day. I mean, you don't have to give us the details, but we'll
Right.
catch up also with the pictures as well. I know you got into Tel Aviv, and then when did you start your pilgrimage or your religious tour of the Holy Land?
First, we actually arrived in Tel Aviv late in the afternoon, so we
Okay.
stayed in Tel Aviv on the first night. The second day, we went to Caesarea, the Galilee area, and then uh, the
When you say
third day,
Galilee, is that where the baptism happened, or the
No,
Jordan
the
River?
baptism is in Jordan.
In
Jordan,
Jordan
yeah,
River. We actually the first day was when we went to
Caesarea
Caesarea, right?
and
Caesarea.
Galilee. Yeah, we
Okay.
went. The first day was Caesarea and Galilee.
Caesarea Maritima,
Caesarea.
actually.
Caesarea.
Caesarea Maritima.
That's how you pronounce it.
Caesarea,
Okay,
yeah.
and Father, what's the significance of that place, and why the first part of that trip would be that
As
place?
as I said, it is the center, of civilization during the time where the Roman Herod, used to stay there. It's a
Oh,
beautiful
okay.
place. And the most significant thing about that place is where Cornelius were baptized, and is one of the early Christian, I mean a pagan, who were converted to Christianity, and his household. And it was also the place where Paul embarked, to to Tarsus. So, and where Philip preached the gospel. So that is very significant for us.
Okay, so from that, then you go. Of course, that's a lot of, like what Ferdy was saying, a lot of walking. So the second day, where did you guys go?
So the next destination that we have is we went to Mount Carmel. So in Mount
A
Carmel,
monastery.
where we see this place of sacrifice, where Prophet Elijah had an encounter with the
Yes.
priests of Baal, and they were fighting among themselves. I mean, the priests of Baal was trying to discredit, that the God of Israel is not the real one. And it was in Mount Carmel that here Elijah showed to the people of Israel who is really the true God. So there was like a contest, and the contest was whoever set that fire, that logs of fire. Sorry, that logs woods, and then whoever lighted it with a fire from heaven is the true God. So the priests of Baal, those pagan priests, they keep on and dancing and calling and crying out. But Elijah said, maybe your God is just sleeping. So maybe he's taking siesta. And so when it was his time, he prayed to God, and all of a sudden that lags were lighted from heaven. And so people believe that the true God is no other than the God of Israel.
See Father JM, that this is the reason why you really have to. Those people are asking, nako, kailangan talaga may pari tayong kasama so they could explain the
So they
history.
can write
One of the person
the
says, naku,
enlightenment.
the picture was shown parang bato-bato lang siya with no that parang bato-bato lang, tulay-tulay lang. So
Yeah,
kailangan
yeah, that's
talaga ng
true.
pare para may background. And see, this is the wonderful thing about having a historian, a priest, a pastor, because they could give you the background. And as you could tell, people like Father J.M., who's knowledgeable, with the Holy Book, at least they could give you the background on why the significance of each place. So I think it's without much saying, it's really encouraging that if you do this, do it with a group, especially if you have someone who's in authority
Yes.
about the Holy Book. Now, Prophet Elijah.
Yes, the prophet
Okay,
Elijah.
so the Prophet Elijah, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the same prophet during the Transfiguration, right?
Yes, the same
Yeah.
play. Yeah.
See, may alam
Same
pa rin
prophet.
ako. It's the same one during Christ's Transfiguration and before he
That's
went
right. That's right.
ascended
Yeah.
to heaven, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, now go. So the second we are on the second day.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
then of course you rested, and
Actually,
then
third
of
day
course
now.
that like
Good.
what Marita was
Second.
saying, and especially Ferdie saying, that's a lot of walking that you guys do. That's why and then you have, oh my
Wake
God,
up
yung food you get
early.
to,
Well,
nabahan ako dun sa food kasi parang what, oh, may question. Father and guys, sabi niya, I don't eat tilapia, paano na yan?
Oh,
They have lots of beef and chicken.
Ay,
Lots.
naku, grabe.
If you don't like fish, they have beef and chicken.
and
Oh,
lots of
there's,
vegetables.
okay. Okay,
Vegetables, salads. Yeah, lots
Si
of stuff.
Nathan, si Passion. Hi, Nathan.
Hey,
Sabi niya, it was a
Nathan.
very spiritual experience for us. Nako, Nathan, I could imagine, and I'm so envious, and I know a lot of our listeners and viewers so envious of the experience that you guys had during this thing. So, on third day, well, okay, the first 2 days that you guys did this, was there anything that meron bang mga revelation, meron bang mga talagang talagang may mga conversion or anything? Was it really very safe naman as far as that is concerned? Wala bang mga
I think the mass, Father, the rainbow, remember?
uh, I'm saying
Yeah.
something.
There
what
was,
rainbow?
yeah, it was really something that for me that actually it struck me because we had that mass, um, and the altar was like a boat.
Yeah.
What church was that?
It was in Galilee actually.
It
Yeah.
was in Galilee. So a father he presided the mass, and before he did, well, he also saw everybody saw the rainbow because it's behind the altar. You will see it's glass, so you will
Okay.
see the horizon. So the rainbow was there. So it was like, I felt like, every time you see a rainbow, it's always a positive, and it's like, yeah, it's like saying that, there's it's not a miracle, but it was like saying, hey, we're welcome in this place, and the Lord usually gives you a rainbow.
Right. It's true.
You're
Like they said,
welcome.
it's
You
always
can feel the presence of God.
special if you see a rainbow. Now, Father JM, you mentioned about Sea of Galilee, and I know I know the significance of that. So the Sea of Galilee is very important in the life of Jesus. Can you share that with our audience who's not very familiar with the Sea of Galilee? And I know, did you guys do the? I don't know if we have that picture, yo. When you guys, because one of the, I know for a fact that one of a part of the tour of any tour is you guys get to ride a boat
Yes.
Yes.
in the Sea of Galilee, just like what
Yes.
Jesus did, right?
You
Yes.
cruised,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Well, the Sea of Galilee, where Jesus started his ministry, where he called his first apostles,
Yes.
like, Peter, Andrew. So that was
Yeah.
that was the beginning of the ministry when they called them, and it was also after the resurrection. They gathered again in Galilee. Okay, so the as you said, we were, shall I say, the first followers of Jesus were fishermen, and in this when they called these fishermen, you could see how their character, their character are rough,
Yeah.
because they're always exposed to all these dangers. Galilee is not always calm, but we were so grateful that it was calm.
Right.
But it was there that Saint Peter was his faith was tested. You remember the time when Jesus walked on the water,
Yes.
and he was so they were also filled with amazement that Peter wanted also to try it. So he walked in the water, but when he realized that the waves were strong and it started sinking, so
You fail.
he cried out to Jesus. uh, he cried out to Jesus and asked for help, and Jesus asked him, man of little faith, why did you doubt?
I know is that's the same sea where remember they cannot get any fish, and then
Yes, yes,
pull your net and believe me there, and then all of a sudden,
yes,
yeah, because that's the same sea. Now we're showing some video earlier while you were explaining. It seems like you guys were dancing on this
Yes.
boat.
Yes, we had fun.
It kind of distracted me. Like you guys are having so much
Oh,
fun.
no, I think that was
They're
the
also singing Havana Villa.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
okay. That's why where the dancing is about. Okay.
Hava,
yeah.
Hava
So much
means
dancing and going on. I don't see any
yeah.
drinking though, but here you go. Here we go. You guys, is it the big boat? And then it
Yes.
Yes,
shows
yes.
the big
Yes,
flag as well. Yeah,
right.
look at that. See?
Yeah, we
So
had
talk to
fun.
us about that. So was this planned, or all of a sudden somebody start group singing and here there's Father JM doing, I think.
Maybe, maybe they knew that we were looking forward to this.
Yeah,
They
well, traditionally, they even on the first time that I went to the Holy Land, I think it was part of the program
right.
of the boat. It started with the singing of the national,
The three
the three
anthems,
anthems.
the
They
Star
sang the,
Spangled Banner, and then the Philippine anthem, and then the Israeli anthem.
yes.
The
Okay.
What's
Now,
amazing is they even have the Philippine flag
I
on the
know
boat.
yeah,
what
did you
what
see?
yeah, because
The three flags were there.
yeah, right underneath the American flag. Is that something that's already there, or is that something you
Yes,
brought with you?
It was
it was
there.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was part of their program. I think they have also Polish flag, I suppose, whenever there are,
right. Polish.
yeah,
Yeah,
Polish
depending on
pilgrimage,
who
depending on the
nationality.
Nationality.
yeah.
Yeah, like us, we were all Filipinos, so they had that Philippine flag. And what was nice there was you would feel good when they actually play the anthems one after the other. It was like how do you call it? Yeah, a merge of cultures.
Yes.
And then we started dancing, and then we danced with the Havana Gila first, and then we danced with the dancing queen like a disco. It
Oh,
was fun. Yeah,
oh,
but the thing that I really struck me also there was the three cultures binding
working
together with the
together.
anthems.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nathan wants to share. Nathan
Oh,
Passion.
sure. Nathan is
Sabi
our
niya,
Yeah.
group mate.
the
Hi,
sea
brother
of
Nathan.
sabi
Hi,
niya,
bro.
the Sea of Galilee was a highlight for us. We ate delicious Saint Peter fish before sailing on to the sea.
Ayun.
Naku, ano ba itong Saint
Yeah.
Peter fish na to? Ito ba yung
Ayun
tilapia?
nga eh.
Tilapia.
Yes.
So
In fact,
tilapia,
yes, it's
and you call it Saint Peter's fish.
call
Okay.
it Saint,
And
yeah, even in 1988 they call it, we paid $10 in that during that time, and it was just the tilapia. It was
now,
just fried tilapia.
this trip or this boat, is this part of a trip or you pay extra? May question dito.
Part
It
of
was
it.
part of
Part
it,
of it.
part of the program. It was an
So you don't have to do
itinerary.
it. Pero, Father, on your expertise, yung bang St. Peter's kahit nung panahon pa ni Jesus, talaga ba siyang tilapia? Kasi di ba,
Baka,
fish.
I think
Yung
so.
tilapia ko, nag-ano na siya, nag-evolve na.
I'm not so sure. I'm not
Kasi
an
doon sa
expert.
Miracle of Loops, di ba?
Yeah.
Fish lang siya. Hindi naman
Oh,
sinabi
fish. They didn't
tilapia.
say
Diba?
tilapia.
Sabi ni Susan Pasyon, sabi niya, we felt Philippine pride. Yes!
Yes, because of the tilapia.
Nice view. Happy viewing for Nathan and Susan. Okay. Now, so yun ang ginawa nyo nung third day? Yung Sea of Galilee. So it wasn't that day.
No, actually, it's
Fourth, or fifth.
I think we were jumping from
Yeah. Here.
that the third day actually was we went to the wedding.
Oh, the
Wedding of Cana.
Tina.
This I'd like. I don't know if we have a picture. There's this one. What I know, and you could correct me. This is where a lot of married couple they renew their vows.
Right,
Right.
right, yes.
Yeah. So this is a
Church of
very
the
very nice.
Annunciation.
I don't know if we have a picture. Yo, I know you could find it if there's picture
Yeah.
because it becomes like a I would say a ritual that once you are a couple and then you do your renewal of vows. So did it happen? How was the experience like? Because I know there's some couples. In
Yes.
your case, I would assume Susan and Nathan did the same thing. How
Yes.
about Ferdy and
Yes.
Marita? Was that
Yes.
was
We
that
did. We were about 8 or 9 couples, and then we marched towards the altar, and we had a rose. Each of us had a rose, the brides, and it was like a real wedding that we had.
right? But
Simple
who
one, simple.
officiated it? Was it a local or was it Father JM?
Father,
Me.
father
Yeah.
also. Father lagi.
Ah, si Father lagi. Talagang, you guys, find a
Mass is
priest talaga who could sing, who could do all this, and then come on and do the mass. I think that's so much fun. I mean, if
Yeah.
ever I'm gonna do this, I think I'm gonna be with Father JM because
Uh,
I wanna learn more
Thank
stuff.
you.
So
yeah,
go with
that's
you
right.
guys. So Nathan and Susan, how was your experience like? Okay, wala bang pilitan ng mga ritual-ritual na yan?
Well, another thing that you need to understand going visiting the Holy Land, because as Ferdie shared earlier, there were a lot of tourists. I mean, pilgrims.
Yeah.
So sometimes going to that particular church, for example, the where the Church of Cana, talagang siksikan kung minsan, you know. So we have to book it ahead of time so that we are able to get just on time for that.
Right.
Otherwise,
Schedule.
when you lose that spot, you know, it is very hard to be to be able to,
Scheduled
yeah.
again.
So Father, is that what you're saying is it's by reservation only?
Well, actually, when you
They arrange.
they already arranged it, you know,
Right.
The tour people.
the tour
Yeah.
people,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Because
So, pero pag nagpahuli-huli ka,
yeah, you have to be, in other words, you have to be swift. Like,
yeah,
okay, it's your time, go. So everybody goes.
yeah,
Maybe you have about 20 to 30 minutes, and you have to just, after that, there's another group coming in. So you just have to be swift.
That's
but
nice.
again,
Yeah,
it depends on the season, you know.
right.
Yeah, depends.
It
Okay,
also,
see, Cha Marcos is watching us from Philippines as well. Hi, Cha. Now, Father, when you say it depends on the season, the time that you went there, was that a good season? Based on your experience, since you are more at an expert, being a two-timer. When is the best time to go to the Holy Land? That it's not too hot, it's not as crowded, based on your experience.
Yeah, I
April,
think
May.
the time that we went there was really a good
Yeah,
time,
it was
April.
windy. It was still,
Yes,
I think,
and I think
spring.
also towards October is also
A
a
good
very good
one, right. Spring or
month.
fall,
Yeah.
Okay.
good
Now,
time.
During
okay.
the
So
summertime,
now,
Summertime,
it
no,
gets
don't
really
go.
hot.
July is the worst.
and Father, correct me if I'm wrong. Di ba yung wedding of Cana was the first ever miracle of Jesus, right? When he turned
Yes, yes,
water
yeah.
into wine, and then yeah, di ba? Yun ang very first written, the
Right.
first miracle of Jesus when Mother Mary said that they ran out of wine and
Yes.
It was not
was
yet
it good?
time
Yeah.
to
So then Jesus
nurse,
said,
but he
it's
was
not time for me to do a miracle.
right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
because
then
of Mama
yeah,
Mary, it
so
was good.
amazing, amazing. Okay. Now, so that happened on, is it the third day or the fourth day?
The Cana was the third day.
Day to 20.
Third day. Okay.
Day
Now,
three.
the following day, where did you guys go? So we're chronicling what happened to you guys, and luckily you guys came back safe.
So on the fourth day, we went to we call the Banyas. This is the sources of the river Jordan. You know,
Oh, interesting.
so in the
Baptism
site of the ancient
vows.
Caesarea Philippi, where Peter made his confession of faith in Christ. So when we went there, we were brought to this beautiful place where there's the spring of water,
Right.
where
But
this water,
very clear.
yes, River Jordan.
Right.
And in that area, there are also, according to our tour guide, is were pagan worshippers, because there's a lot of statues of different gods, in that area. So, but you can't find that anymore. But there are still some ruins,
Right.
and it was there that Peter was asked by Jesus, "Who do you say that I
I
am?"
am.
So, and there, Saint Peter made his confession
You are
of faith,
the
that you are
Messiah.
the Messiah. So,
Significant, significant
And was
place.
that the same river where Jesus was baptized by John the Baptist?
Jordan River.
yeah, it was in the Jordan River, But what I'm saying, we came here to Banyas, where this is the source of the river, and
The
it is
the northernmost part.
northern part, yes.
Now, one
So,
of
yes.
one of the things that one of our person was saying that she went there too, but it was very dirty. So
Oh,
was it a different location where she went?
very no
Because
Well,
the
hospitable.
Jordan River, we were not able to spend
It's
much
very,
time because
very
it
dirty. Right?
was smelly at the time. So I don't know what that meant.
Yeah.
I was never there.
Maybe I think the Jordan River, I don't know, in 1988 we were able to actually submerge our bodies
yeah.
and then even our heads. That time it was really clean. But this time when we went there, we cannot because you can see that it was kind of, you can see the filthy how do you call that, yung lumot
Yeah.
andun.
But
And
one
so,
one one
Father,
person said that they had the water baptism there too
yeah,
recently.
yeah,
So I guess
well,
it depends on the time.
no, you don't have to dip in there,
Yeah.
Ninong. What Father did was we were all around the river because you won't like to dip in the filthy water. So we were all around the river, and Father renewed our vows with his holy water. And then we were there. It was renouncing Satan, and you do the whole baptism ceremony, just like a renewal of baptismal vows.
Okay, there was a picture that was shown just now. Can we get that back? Is that where is that
That's
at?
the one. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one.
So here, I try to explain the significance of our baptism, and that our tour guide was telling us that you are already baptized, and there is no need for you to go down to the
Water.
water, and do it again. And which is very logical, And besides, because of time constraint,
Right. We also
if
do
we
that.
miss again the next spot that we will go, so we will miss it. Yeah.
Ayan.
The Nathan Passion said,
Sinala
Nathan, thank you
inalis.
for your
Oh my
participation.
God.
Nathan said, we felt all like family since day one. That
Yeah.
made the tour even more special, especially
That's right.
having our renewal of vows with 8 other couples. Wow, amazing. Thank you for sharing that, Nathan. And of
Yes.
course, your wife, Susan. Yeah,
Mhm.
well, that's great. That's why I encourage you guys to have to when you go to Holy Land, try to be with a group because
I
with a
know.
group would
Yeah.
really make it very special. And then, Ferdie, anything to contribute since you're the newbie here?
No, it's
Because
really
Father JM and Marita had been there twice, and I want to hear it because I'm more excited, like for Nuvi, and I know a lot of our people are planning, our viewers and our listeners are planning to do what you did, and I'd like to hear it from your point of view because your experience would be definitely different from Marita as well as with Father JM. Nathan and Susan, is was this your first time too? So I don't know. Well, please do answer. So go ahead, Ferdy. How was the experience in the first 3 days? Was there anything earth shaking, or was there an epiphany for you, or did it make you a better person? You feel like you need to be a good person now more than that you are now?
it was the experience is really very different on my side. First of all, I wanted to Go back to what built over the next, on the on the first 3 days, even on the first day. Um, there's some people like us who could barely walk. Let's just put it this way. But or nobody was left behind.
Fine.
Everybody was helping each other. We had a guide in the front, and we had another guy in the back, so that our group would say, okay, when we actually reach that location, everybody will be there. Nobody will be left and saying, where is this person now? So, that's a good thing for, let's say, a group tour, that somebody is assigned in the back and somebody is assigned in the front. But it's more of like putting everybody in one place whenever necessary, because of so many people in there. And, that's really amazing. Uh, Nathan was actually the one in the front, and brother Roger was in the back. And we also have some people that, like me, that couldn't walk that fast. So they're actually patiently waiting until everybody gets into that location where we're supposed to meet.
You got your stories giving me goosebumps because that's the I would not say just the Filipino spirit, but just the camaraderie and so
Yes.
exciting. Now, one question: how big is your group to begin with? Because there's a question here. Because like what
33.
you're saying, you guys one in front, one at the back, and no one's left behind, which is so awesome. And then how big is your group?
We were 33
33.
Wow.
at
Okay, and the
the
different
age
ages.
of Jesus when he passed
Yeah,
away.
and how yeah, that's the when he reappeared in the Bible from the
Right.
Old Testament to the New Testament.
Yeah.
He was
Right.
33. Now, my question is, what's the age range?
Oh,
Are they really mature
see,
people? Was there any millennials, or was there really more seniors and mature, or
they're
is it
they're
a really good
millennials.
mix?
But the son of brother Roger, because they that was more of a reunion for them because he's based in Seattle, so they met in the Holy Land because they wanted to see each other because they're from Houston, brother Roger and sister Judy Albero. So the son was the youngest, and he was the brightest. Yeah, he could answer because we have a tourist guide, but he was more of a historian, a Bible. He was more of an educator. We were lucky, and he's a 75-year-old guy, a Jew. But my goodness, I think he the whole Bible is in his head. He
Wow.
can, yeah, he can really. He was so eloquent and articulate. Every part of whatever, wherever we are, he would explain in detail where we were. Very, very. We were lucky to have. His name is Ari.
But who is the oldest in our group?
Yeah, he was the oldest in our group.
No, no, it's a tour
Ah,
guide.
oh, the tour guide. Yeah, the tour guide, oldest tour guide. But he can, we walked to the Church of the Visitation,
Yeah.
and it's more than 100 steps up. So everybody was, wow, my goodness.
Asking
We
for
were
breath.
all, yeah, we were gasping for breath. But him, he went up, and then he had to find a reason to go back down and go up again. Not even having a
Wow.
yeah, you don't see any gasping for breath. He was
Okay,
really
before anything
strong.
else, let me say hello to Catherine Cruz. She is the wife of the presidential advisor of the Marcos government on foreign affairs and also the chief presidential protocol of the Marcos administration. Hello, Catherine. Happy viewing to you. This is so exciting. I think Catherine has been in the Holy Land as well, but you could participate as well. And happy viewing to you. So, okay, so you did that on the fourth day, right? Are we on the fourth day?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is so exciting. So there's really no age limit for anybody to join this group.
No.
Yeah.
So you could be
We had 80, well, at the army was 83.
83.
Oh,
okay.
each one of us had a chance to actually
Okay, now
actually
now tell us what happened to the fifth day.
oh, yeah.
Okay, on the fifth day, we went to Dead Sea, okay?
Oh, this is
Oh,
the
Lowest point
I
of Earth.
love this.
Okay.
that was when they put mud because they said it smoothens your face and it's kind of, yeah, there's a
Yeah,
medicinal
we're showing
value.
pictures. Oh, how come
There you
uh,
go.
Father James naked here?
Lowest point of Earth, okay? The lowest point of Earth. And when you are there, you will not sink, it,
Float.
because you'll always float. Because
Because of the salt.
There,
yes,
there,
because of the salt, yeah.
or there.
It's
See,
like a cleansing.
cleansing.
So we're showing all this picture with Marita wearing a purple ube shirt.
It's actually pink, and then it's my
So the guys has to be
elder
dressed
brother, Kuya
whatever.
Dan.
Yeah. So is it deep? Is it deep, you
No,
guys?
No, it's
no,
not. It's
it's
not.
only up
It's
to your knee.
yeah.
And it's clean.
Well, you
Where
can't
it
say,
meets.
well, it's supposed to be the medicinal mud that's in there, but you can't say really clean if you can see. But since it's supposed to be medicinal, then it's supposed to be clean.
Well, look at Marita. It looked like you are the
My
leader of the.
brother is putting,
You're,
yeah, I'm
you're
putting
the
mud
most.
on my
You are.
brother.
It seems like you are the master of putting mud on everyone.
Actually, it was fun to
And your
put
father
mud.
has
Yeah.
this big smile in his face. Why?
The water also subsided. It's really deep now. You
Oh,
actually go
wait.
down.
No,
Dan Manuel said that's me. Who's Dan Manuel?
that's my brother, my
So
older
in the
brother from
video,
California.
he's like,
He's
that's
in
me.
California.
Hi Dan, happy viewing to you. Si Nathan Passion has a big a paragraph here. I'll read it before we
Okay.
go to the videos. Susan and I love traveling, and yes, it was our first time to Holy Land, but the most special and memorable tour of of any we've been on. Uh, Amerisa Travel, our bus driver and tour guide, was able to change our schedules around to maximize our time at each site, especially at Holy Sepulchre, where the third attempt was the charm. Oh my God, this I'd like to hear. Thank you for sharing that, Nathan. So, okay, let's talk about the Dead Sea. Okay, so you float
Okay.
because, to my understanding, it's the lowest point on Earth. At the same time, you don't sink because of the salt content of the sea, right? Am I correct, Father?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
But the
And is
water
this?
receded already.
I'm sorry, Ferdie.
The water receded.
Receded. Okay, question. Is it the same Dead Sea that was parted by Moses?
No, I don't
I
think so.
don't
No.
think no,
No,
that's
it's not.
not the dead. What was that? The Ten Commandments, Father. What is that? I
So,
don't think that's the Dead
No,
so
it's
Sea.
not the
on
Dead
the
Sea.
spot.
It's the Red Sea.
The
Red
Red
Sea.
Sea.
Red
That's the
Sea.
Red
Sea.
Sea.
Okay, kasi may
This is
nagtatanong
the
eh.
Dead Sea.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, it's a Red Sea, not the Dead Sea, you guys. Okay, so let's ask the expert. So, parang happy si Manong naka peace sign pa siya. Is
Oh,
that Dan
that's
Manuel?
That's my
that's
brother.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that all you did for the fifth day?
Well, after that, where did we go? We
I think we went to another place.
yes, I can't remember now. I think we passed.
Pabang Jerusalem already.
Yeah, so the I think we moved to day 6 and we
Yeah.
went now to the city of Jerusalem.
Okay,
Jerusalem.
before you go to day 6, my question. For the Dead Sea, uh, do you have to wear a when you for the ladies? Do you have to be insured? Can you do bathing suit? Can you do two piece?
Ever.
Was there
No, 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 not two piece.
uh,
I think one piece.
one
But I
piece?
did not.
So
I just wore my
there's
Well,
t-shirt.
really no dress code or a swimwear
actually,
clothes.
it's optional to
Right.
go to dip in the water.
Yeah.
Okay,
This,
and how if you're part of a tour, how long does it? How long would it take for you? Are you allowed to dip, or is it just like with the wedding in Cana? You are in groups. Also, in this one, you could spend as much time. Is that there's a question on that?
There was also a schedule.
this is again, it's a limited time. Uh,
Maybe
because you
30
have to another
minutes.
maybe 30, yeah, 30
30
minutes
minutes.
is enough. And it's very as a warning not to you know
Open your eyes.
Open
open
your
your eyes
eyes.
or
Yeah, because you were going to
So now,
hurt
question
your eyes.
is: was there any shower
oh yes,
Yeah,
yes,
we have a shower at the back.
we have
at
this-
the back?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, so you
okay,
can.
got it.
They
So
have towels you can borrow.
you could borrow, not buy, but borrow.
You can buy two if you want, but they have also
You need
just
to say you can rent the
rent
towels.
or buy. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Or you could bring your own if you're very
Right. Right.
sensitive about those. Okay. Sixth day.
Okay, so from the Dead Sea
Gethsemane.
went to Jerusalem. This is one of the for us very moving,
Solemn. Yeah.
very solemn because before you enter the city of Jerusalem that you just showed, you will be passing by the tunnel, you know.
And that's where Jesus, right? With the donkey?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
but before you
You
entered, you
remember
see the
that?
beautiful panorama of the city. You
Right.
know, for
Jesus.
me, it was moving because
Is that what we're
yes,
showing right now?
yes,
Yes.
Wow.
many people were touched, to see the city of Jerusalem because it reminds them of Jesus' entry to Jerusalem, which we did on the next day, on the
Wow.
You have to remember also that Jerusalem has a distinct quarters. They have the Jewish, they have the Christian, they have the Muslim, and Armenian.
Right. Different religions.
Okay, question because now we're showing group of people here wearing jacket this time because
Oh
earlier
yeah.
you guys are wearing t-shirt and it's looked like it's hot. But now is it getting cold where you guys are because now it seems like you guys are wearing scarves and wearing jackets
The
and
higher places, it was
yes.
it's actually going up to the mountains.
okay.
Very nice, breezy and a little bit
Oh,
windy, but very nice, chilly weather.
okay, so that's what happened on the
50s,
sixth day.
50s, yeah.
So Father JM, walk us to the sixth day. So you saw the panoramic view of Jerusalem. When did you enter Jerusalem?
Yeah, we entered on the sixth day, so we were brought there early in the morning to see this the panoramic
View,
view of Jerusalem.
and then
And again,
Garden of
it
Gethsemane.
as you said, goosebumps, because it is, especially when we were brought to this place that you just showed, where Jesus wept when he saw Jerusalem,
Right.
Oh
and
my God, they're showing pictures now. This is so
Yeah.
amazing. I think
yeah.
this is the top. Is this where everything is happening? Because we're showing some pictures here.
Right, right, uh-huh.
This is all in Jerusalem, and we're showing some pictures of Jesus as well.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Let's do it slowly so they could explain per picture. I think this is
Yeah, the
one of the
wailing.
highlight of
It's
the
the
trip.
one.
Okay, now there's this. Let's go back. So this is the panoramic of Jerusalem. Okay, the city of Jerusalem. And next slide, please, yo. Okay, what is this? Is this part of Jerusalem? It looks like a church.
So we after viewing that panoramic place, we went down and we went to this Mount of Olives. So this is the
Garden of Gethsemane.
nations and where Jesus this is very close to the agony of the garden,
Garden.
Yeah.
the agony of the
Wow.
garden,
Garden of
the
Gethsemane.
garden of
We
Gethsemane.
had the mass there that we were so blessed to have the mass right next to the Garden of Gethsemane. Father
Okay.
officiated the
Yeah.
mass.
Okay, next slide, please, yo. Because there's like an inside of a church. Was that in Jerusalem as
Right.
well?
Oh, this is inside of the church that
Of
you
the
just
sepulchre.
showed.
Yeah.
This is not the sepulchre.
Oh,
This is the rock where Jesus, prayed
slave.
to the Father.
Okay.
From the garden.
Yes.
Not from
Okay,
the
So
this is
they
where
uh,
Jesus
they
said,
enclose it.
take,
They
take
enclose
away
it
the cup
inside.
from me.
Yeah.
This is where it is, right?
Yeah. Actually, they enclose it inside the church.
When you say enclosed by a glass?
No,
No,
they're
they
inside the
built
church
the church on top of it.
on
A
top.
church with this is the original supposed to be.
Okay.
Where
Showing the picture right now.
you can.
Yeah,
We touched it.
Yeah.
we touched it.
We were blessed when we touched it.
So it's inside the church.
See?
Okay.
Okay, but you could go in group. Like, see, there's a
We're
video. We're
touching.
showing that you guys were touching it. They're all
Right.
over. So
Mhm.
this is
Yes.
where the agony. That's the rock
Yes.
that
Uh-huh.
that Jesus prayed on.
Yes.
Right.
Right, right.
He asked that
But
the
outside the church, you
cup.
see all these olive uh,
Please.
trees that goes back
Yeah,
to
how nice.
thousands
Thousands
years.
of year
Yeah.
old olive trees with the olive fruits and the olive leaves.
Okay,
Beautiful.
now we're showing like a passage.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay, like a
So from
passage. Is
there,
this the passage going to Jerusalem?
we go up to the city of Jerusalem. Where Jesus did the miracle about this blind or this paralytic man,
Yeah.
and he healed him. So there is they showed us where the water used to be, where the pool, of Siloam was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, it shows also the Wailing Wall. Was that in Jerusalem as well?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Because that's very very important. And let Yo, can we freeze on that for a while, because this is very significant. And I know I've seen so many friends, family, and relatives that they said that this is there's a story behind this wall. And can you and there's like you cannot go across that wall because there's something going on. Father JM, you're the expert on this. Can you talk about this Wailing Wall? What happened here? People are asking for letters or pledges or requests, and they put it in the cavities of this wall. Can you tell us what's the significance of this Wailing Wall?
So okay, we are now in the center of the Holy Land, which is the Jerusalem. Okay, so this wall is not far away from, as they said, from the temple.
Yeah.
So of Jerusalem. So, but that temple on top of that wall is where the Muslim mosque.
Yeah.
Is,
Okay.
so this is always contested. Now, remember in the Bible, Jesus prophesied about the destruction of Jerusalem
Right.
because of their unbelief. So Jesus said, "Those who are outside the city do not come in, and those who are in the city should go out." And remember, and also one of the station, Jesus met the women of Jerusalem.
Correct.
And he said, "Weep, don't weep for me, but weep for your children."
Children.
Correct.
So actually, he was referring to the destruction of Jerusalem. So it was destroyed because of the rebellion, of the Israelite people against the Romans. And when the Romans get, you know, they sent all this, they destroyed the temple. And this is what they said remains on the wall, that was built.
So now the Wailing Wall, uh, people pray on it regardless of
Yes.
the
So after some time, after the diaspora or the destruction, the Jews were not allowed to come back, to Jerusalem. But at some point, they were allowed only to pray, So close to that temple. So their belief that it was a part, you know, uh, of the temple. So they were praying that one day they will come back again to restore, that they will be restored they will be allowed to come back. So they were for hundreds of years they're coming back to pray, and they allowed other faith to so we were able to get close to also.
Okay, when you do because I know I've seen films on that, they have a piece of paper request, they put it in those cracks or
Yes, yes,
cavities of that wall. So would you know if those prayers, because I would assume there's millions of those, would somebody collect it and burn
I
it?
think that they collect it, and I don't know where they put it, but I think
And then
they collect it for
was there a time limit to pray?
uh except
Okay.
I think for some activities, or they have a special occasions,
Hmm.
So, but for us, there's no limit. There are, yes, there are limits because we have, as a group, we have to move to
Another location.
another
Yeah.
location. Because
Wow.
But
after that,
the
uh,
Wailing Wall also, they separated the men from the women.
Is that right?
Right.
Yeah.
yes,
Yes.
And the reason why is
well, that is the
I
It's
think that's their
part of their culture,
culture. Yeah.
perhaps.
culture.
okay. Now, Josephine Castillo, happy viewing to you. Josephine is watching us from Ateneo, Katipunan area. Hello, happy viewing. Okay, so after the Wailing Wall, where did you guys go as a group?
Okay, so actually there were two choices. Either you go to this Temple Mount or to pass by the tunnel. So I because our tour guide was a Jew,
Yeah,
so he's not allowed to enter the uh, Temple Mount or the
that's the where the
mosque.
mosque,
Yeah.
where the
So,
mosque
but
is.
this is my first time to experience to see to pass by the tunnel.
Right.
Yes, to pass by the tunnel. He explained to us what was what was Jerusalem before, or before Jesus, or during the time of Jesus.
Is
So
that
it
the
was very
tunnel where what
interesting.
we're showing right now? It's like a
Yes,
yeah.
so
Wow.
according to Ari, our tour guide, this is actually the nearest place you can uh, get closer to the temple. They said.
Wow. Okay. So after
So
that, okay, is that
after
the same?
that, when we so he was explaining to us uh, what was the temple look like before, and when we get out of that, we are already very close to the Via Dolorosa. Okay, where
Ooh.
Jesus had
Calvary.
uh, had the
Carries.
carrying the cross.
Carrying the cross.
So
Right.
You had a
Described it
chance.
as
Yes,
Station
you
of
had
the
a chance.
Cross,
the stations of the cross, rather. Yeah.
like
Yeah,
where they meet. Well, he met supposedly Mama Mary.
Oh yes. Uh-huh.
Okay.
So we are inside of this Jerusalem, and we pass by all these stores. There's a lot of different stores along the way, as you can see.
Now, why are look? We're showing pictures of your group carrying a cross,
right.
Yes.
We
Uh-huh.
had a chance. For at the time.
and this cross is, I guess, it's a reenactment or some sort on how
Yes, it
the
is an
same
Provided.
same
reenactment.
rock, almost same weight, or it looks like a smaller version of the
Right.
crucified cross.
Thinner. It's a thinner version, and it's for you to experience. Walking through the path where Jesus actually suffered,
So
and
this is the stations.
right.
Yes.
Sticker book.
Because there's one picture here. It shows it shows Ferdie already on one side taking a rest.
Uh,
you should have
you
audit.
have to climb
You should have
upstage.
filtered this picture a little bit.
A lot of a lot of walking, like I told you.
Yeah, lots of walking.
Okay, so you did the whole station on this portion, right? So you did the whole 14 station.
Yes.
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 Okay,
But I think
We were singing,
yes.
Jesus, remember we, when you come
okay.
into
I
the.
have a question. Now, on this 14th station of the cross, this particular group, do they have to say the station of the cross over and over and over again?
What do you mean?
I guess what the question is like, remember when it's a holy week, then you do stations of the cross and you do the ritual. Is that something that you guys do, or you just pass through it?
Well, that is you don't have actually to do the stations of the cross, but for us Filipinos, it's really something uh, wanted to we were curious at the same time, and we would like to see where Jesus passed,
Right.
where Jesus went through this experience. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're showing a bigger cross here, and there's a guy underneath. Can we show
Brother
that?
Roger. Yeah,
Yeah.
there.
Okay, that's a different cross that you
No,
guys
it's the
It's the
same
same
cross.
one.
cross. How many crosses were given
Only
to you?
had one. We
Only one.
So
passed
you just take turns.
four at a
Yeah.
time. Correct.
Okay, so it's like the significance is like how it felt like when Jesus were carrying the cross,
Yes.
except Jesus' cross was heavier
Yes, and
Yes.
thick.
by himself,
Yeah.
and
Correct.
there's no Simon to help you guys.
Yeah. That's right.
Okay, and
And
then
it's a very how do you call it?
Narrow.
Narrow,
Very narrow
narrow.
street.
The streets of
So you
gold.
could just imagine how chaotic,
Jesus.
you
Yeah.
know, and
When Jesus was
riotous that
carrying it.
when
Wow.
Jesus was carrying that.
He,
okay, now let's talk from the first timer, Ferdie. How did it affect you going through that stations and carrying? I almost feeling that the same cross that Christ Jesus carried. I mean, it's a symbolism, of course.
It was on the religious side. It was really something to think of.
Mhm.
We went to this station of the cross, and everybody has to turn to hold the cross and walk with the cross until the next spot.
Yeah.
And it was really unbelievable because it's
Bethlehem,
religiously it's something
Bethlehem,
different. My feeling over there was different.
that's the
I could not explain
Bethlehem naka.
what I was feeling at that time.
Nativity, di ba?
Wow. Okay, so
The,
after
the, the
going,
thing too that that we have to experience on this one too is that
Gethsemane,
because there are so many people who wanted to do the same thing, we have to skip some of the stations of the cross because some people are already there.
okay. Now, question: This cross, though, was that provided by the group,
Yes, yes,
or
it was provided to
so
the group.
different groups has different cross?
Yes,
Okay, so it's part of a tour. Okay, so at
yeah.
least it's the experience. Okay, after doing this cross,
After,
where did you guys go?
di ba, sepulcher na?
Come again?
After that station of the cross, carrying the cross, where did you guys go, if you could recall?
Okay, so as I said, there are three very important churches, very significant and historical, and that's the Annunciation, and what else?
Visitation.
The Visitation.
The end.
No, no.
That was the end.
The birth of Jesus, and at
Jesus,
the same
Church of
time
Nativity.
the nativity, and the so these stations of the cross ends in in the sepulcher, in the
Okay.
sepulcher. So in the first time that we were in Jerusalem, we tried to attempt to go to the sepulcher,
Where Jesus was,
but
yeah, slain.
we were not successful because of too
Too
many
many
crowds, too
people.
many people. So the tour guide decided that we take our chance after the Station of the Cross.
Okay.
So from there we went to the
Sepulcher.
house of the I mean to the Church of the Sepulchre.
Sepulcher where,
That is not the one. That's not the
yeah,
sepulchre. Yeah.
that's the Nativity.
Right. Now, you mentioned three churches. I know I'm quite familiar, not that I've been there, like the Annunciation. That's where Angel Gabriel supposedly
Yes, yes.
appeared
Right. Announced.
to Mama Mary and said, "Yeah, behold the handmaid of the Lord." Oh, well, no.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
You are
that's
the
right.
chosen one, right? Okay, so were you able to get into the Church of Annunciation?
Yes.
Yes, we did. Yeah, we were.
Hopefully, we could see that. So when you went to the other church, what was inside that church? And I hopefully we could find the pictures.
Well, for us, very special is the sepulcher, and
Is
that.
that the church we're
Oh no,
showing?
this is the Annunciation.
This
Annunciation.
is the Annunciation. Okay, let's talk about that. So were you able to go here first or to the sepulcher first?
Um,
Saint Francis Church, is that?
no, no, no. That's the last one. So the Annunciation Church. Yeah, what
Annunciation.
that was the first
Okay, when you say Annunciation Church, was because when well, like me, I've seen it in films that it was not a church at the time. It was a room. It's a bedroom of
yes,
Right.
Mary. So was it? Well, supposedly it is. They built a church within that wall. Is that correct?
yes. Actually, again, they enclose
The original.
the original.
Okay, they're showing something here. Video.
Yes,
Is that it?
that's the Annunciation Church.
Wow.
It's huge. Yeah.
Wow.
Very
But one is
nice.
striking uh, when you there are several paintings right around
Right.
the church,
Yes.
and the
That's
first thing
right.
that you would see is the Filipino.
Uh-oh.
Did you get a picture of
I
that?
did that. We don't have. Is
It's
it
a
there?
rendition. There's some Filipino art.
Filipino art, but I don't know if we were able to take picture of that.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
it's
so freeze on that one. It looks like okay, there's like an altar. Like, is that where all it happened? It looks like an. We're showing it right
Altar.
now.
yeah. If you could show us where they were walking.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
very nice.
Okay.
down below there is this a little altar which
Mhm.
supposedly they said where Angel Gabriel appeared, and it
Wow.
was to Mary.
Show yeah.
So you, as a part of the tour, you just pass through it.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
You
Cannot,
Of course, the
did.
tour
you
guide
cannot
explaining
actually.
what it is. And
Yeah.
now, what is this that we're showing? There's like a blue cloth.
Oh, that is an altar. Again, it's an
Okay.
altar. I think they celebrate Mass in a special
Occasions.
occasion or for a special group or able
Groups.
to.
Okay. Now, after
But there
the
is another church
In
on top
in
of
the
that,
middle.
on top of the Church of Annunciation.
Center
Yes,
church.
there's
Yeah.
like a balcony, right?
Balcony.
There's a balcony, yeah.
And then you go down. That's the church that they showed.
So it's like there are three,
Church
Altars.
in what?
yeah.
There's another altar. Remember, there's another altar on top, and then you go down, and then there's another altar there on the side.
Yeah.
Okay, but the most insignificant to me here, as an outsider looking in, this is where it
You
all
go
began,
there.
basically,
Right.
Church of
Amen.
Annunciation,
Well, it
which is
was
part of
here.
the
Yeah.
joyful mystery of
Magnificat
the Rosary.
It was here that I explained to the my pilgrims to
to us.
to them about the role of the Blessed Mother. And as I said, there are three important words that actually describe or summarize the life of the Blessed Mother, and this is in Latin,
Yeah.
the Fiat Magnificat Stabat. Okay, the Fiat is when the Blessed Mother said her yes.
Yes.
So behold, the handmaid of the Lord, be it done to me according
And
to thy word. Because without the
acceptance
the acceptance of the Blessed Mother, we won't be able, the redemption.
of
Yes.
Jesus.
Would that have taken place? Yeah.
And
Very
the
good.
second important word for the Blessed Mother is the word Magnificat. Okay, uh, when she sang, "My soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord."
Oh my God.
After she said yes, he said, "My soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord." So it's a way, an act of thanksgiving,
Yeah.
for the goodness of God. So, and the third, and during that Magnificat, uh, Mary, after accepting her the call, after accepting the will of God, she proclaimed this, by helping her cousin Elizabeth, So that is the significance of Magnificat for me, that she expressed her thanksgiving by helping, by helping. So when we receive God's blessing from God, we should not keep it on ourselves, but we have to share it like the Blessed Mother.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the third was for the Blessed Mother is the word Stabat. You heard about the song Stabat Mater Dolorosa. Mary stood at the foot of the cross. So she was faithful, to Jesus until the end, you know. So her yes is not only at the beginning, but until the end, you know.
So it's Fiat Magnificat. Okay. Now, after you did the Church of Annunciation, did you was that's the sixth day, right?
Well, actually, we are now moving from.
Okay. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry about when we talk about the three churches.
Right.
So we tried to.
Okay. Now, was there anything else you'd like to talk about for that particular day, or are we going to the seventh day? Because there's some other things that I know people are so interested because like the
Yeah.
the the birth itself. Because even I, like looking into that picture, I saw like I thought there's a you look into that little hole and then you see something else. I didn't know that's the birth already of Jesus.
Yes.
So is that happened the following day, or this is all happening in one day?
Uh,
Another day.
it
It
happened
was
another
another
day.
day.
So from our experience from Jerusalem,
Yeah,
when we were in Jerusalem, so we moved
Nazareth.
to Nazareth, okay,
Yeah.
to Bethlehem.
Okay.
Now this is a
Bethlehem.
different uh, how do you call this
Location.
situation
Yes.
because our tour guide is a
Jew.
Jew, was a Jew,
So I
Right.
could
is a Jew,
go there.
so he couldn't enter this Palestine,
Palestine.
Palestinian.
Ah.
Yeah.
So do
That's a,
you suggest find someone else that's not a Jew?
we got
No, no, no.
another tourist for
They
that
have
day.
collaborated actually.
Yeah.
So what he told us is this: uh, there is another tour guide owned by their own company, you know.
Right.
So they collaborate.
It's
Ah, okay.
Palestinian.
So so there are only certain point that he could enter, and
The
after
Jew.
that there's this
Another tour guide.
tour guide will guide
The
us
place.
in
Okay, you
In
did the Church of
Bethlehem.
Annunciation because that's where it all happened, like what you mentioned
right.
earlier. And of course, the next one is the birth, the nativity.
Nativity Church.
Okay,
Yes.
that's the what I know. A lot of our listeners and viewers are like, when did it happen, and how was the feeling? And of course, I'm gonna pick the brain of an experience of Ferdie as well,
Yeah.
because on the Annunciation, Ferdie, how was the experience like?
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know how to explain.
What was that, Ferdy? There's a question. For it says for the gentleman who experienced it the first time, was there any time that you felt like crying or just tears roll into your eyes because you were overcome the places that you've been so far up to the Church of Annunciation that you felt crying or tears flowing into your eyes or you felt so surreal?
um, there's a feeling of sadness, but at the same time, there's also the feeling of actually being happy that you actually saw whatever's in the Bible physically.
Okay, when you say
Um,
sadness, where is that coming from?
it's actually the more of like the feeling that you actually, like putting yourself in the suffering of our Lord Jesus Christ, and at the same time, being having the feeling that you finally saw all of the things that happened to him,
Mm-hmm.
and there's one thing that really, and I'll skip on this one because when we went to Bethlehem and we went to the let's say the Nativity Church of the Nativity. Um, you go down into this like a cave going down to see the Nativity, and when we got there, because I was feeling sick at the time,
Mm.
so I went ahead of the group. They let me went ahead of the group, and so that I could just sneak in there and sneak out. And what happened was when we were actually went into the nativity, I saw three women on the same spot, and this lady is from South Africa,
Mm-hmm.
and she started crying when I was there. And
Okay.
so she was saying that I couldn't believe that I was here. I'm not really very religious, but
Mhm.
now I believe everything is happening. This is reality for me. It's a waking up that
Mm.
the Lord Jesus Christ is here. And she
Yeah.
started crying, and she started crying in front of me, and she hugged me because she said I needed to cry on somebody's shoulder.
Right.
So this lady also beside us, who's also I think from France, and another lady. There's three ladies who started crying. So I was there in the middle and said, "What am I going to do?" So I had to cry too. So it was like something like, "Oh my God, I'm also crying because I'm here with, where Jesus Christ was born, and everybody was crying
Wait,
all
did
over
you
us,
cry because of
and
the
we
three
didn't know."
ladies, or did you cry because you were moved by your emotions?
Yeah, but also it was like looking at, it was just like
Everybody's
looking at
crying.
it and saying, "Oh my God, everybody's crying."
Dangerous.
Okay, now you said you were not feeling. Was there any sort of something that happened to you that you felt better?
It was something different because when I was there, when before we actually went to the cave, I was really feeling sick,
Yeah.
and because I'm diabetic, so it's just like my body was worn out, I guess, and I have to go to the I have to go to the bathroom about 3 or 4 times because I wasn't really feeling well, so I was feeling dizzy. And so, but the time that I actually went into the cave and went up, I was feeling a lot better.
Wow.
Something that I said, wow, maybe the crying with the ladies and being there actually something happened to me that I said, okay, I'll go up and talk to Marita about it. But Marita was on the other side,
Okay,
so
when you say you went
I
to
felt
Bethlehem,
better
so
as soon as
where
I
you were
went
crying
up.
with the ladies, was that exactly where the spot that you have to kind of like kneel and look at a certain point with the stars? I hopefully we have that picture
No, this the where
where
Jesus was
really
really born.
Yeah,
Yeah, where Jesus was born.
right.
yeah.
So what did you see in that star? Because I always thought it's like a mosaic that you look into and you see the manger, but I guess it wasn't.
No, it was
No,
just
just
a glass with
a
a
glass,
brass
yeah,
star.
brass star.
It's a
And you
mark
can put your hand in
It's
there
a
and pray.
marker.
for the original. It's again the original. Once it's original, they put the glass.
Hmm.
I think one of the thing that you need to understand about the city of Jerusalem, it has been under so many different civilizations. So they build and build and build.
Right.
So the original actually is you cannot really point where, but so they even in Cana, the church of Cana, you could see underneath there they put a glass,
Hmm.
and you could see the ground, uh, the some artifacts underneath. Okay, so just like that.
Yeah, Nathan Passion said, felt goosebumps at the nativity. During our mass, I was fixated at the nativity scene the whole time. I couldn't stop staring at it. Mhm. Wow. Okay, now from that, so you kind of stoop and kneel and go into that space, right? So what
Yeah.
Yes.
happened after that? So this is Bethlehem now, which is very historical.
Yeah. So in Bethlehem, we were all before we went to that uh,
The
the
birth.
Church of the Nativity. We were also brought to Shepherd's Hill, where the shepherds used uh, to watch, and according to the tour guide, these shepherds were actually raising these sheep for the temple that they offered in the temple.
Mm.
So those sheep are very we call valuable during that time, because And so it was there also that we sing a Christmas song, like what
I think
angels we have heard on high. It was Christmas on April.
Christmas.
I was gonna say, wait a minute, that's not even a Burr month yet.
Yeah.
Okay, from the Bethlehem, the birth of the nativity or the nativity scene, where did you guys go?
So it was also in Bethlehem that we were asked to support the community by buying
Oh yeah.
their crops. So it was a big time for
We
those who are
went to the
shoppers.
store
Yeah.
that actually that they
Yeah, I think you have seen some of these crops from Jerusalem, right?
Yes, Marita and Ferdie was able to give me
Yes.
some, and of course you were able to give me that precious
Yes,
piece
because
cross. So I
they're really very poor area, because
yes.
they are the Palestinians. They are, yes, something like this,
Ito.
something like this. So,
wow.
yes.
Yeah, beautiful.
So
At the
So
back
these
says
are
Jerusalem
handicraft that they made,
that's
with
right.
the relics.
and
See,
with the and also the rosary. Is that where you guys got the
relics. They
rosary?
have
Right.
relics on
Uh-huh.
and it
So
says
we need also to support
Jerusalem.
the Christian community there, because that is only the source of their living.
Yeah, it's a major part of tourism is a major part,
Yeah.
especially for them.
Now, there's a question. Do you have to buy them with the local currency?
No,
No dollars,
most of us didn't even have to exchange our money from dollar to
shekels.
shekel.
Okay, that's good to know.
We basically they accept dollar everywhere.
Okay, now there's a question, especially for Ferdy. Was it safe? I mean, there was no pickpockets, just like any part of Europe.
Well, a lot
No,
our tourist guide is very careful with that because there
Okay.
are still a lot of people who actually would sell you something or maybe you get mugged if you actually show them your money. So our tour guide is actually very careful in saying this is where we're going to shop. This is the place where you could actually shop, and this is the place where you are safe to actually use your credit
special
card.
credit cards, right?
Okay. Now there's a question here. Is it like Antipolo where they pin you with some estrampita and then they ask you to pay?
Sometimes they do that.
Sometimes they do, yes. Sometimes they
This
do.
is for you. It's a gift, and then they ask for $5. Oh,
And
it's
not
just
only
five
that,
dollars.
you have to be very careful too because people would actually approach you with so many things like, oh, this is
Yeah,
10 pieces for $1 or something,
Yeah.
and they would just say you have to buy this because you know why? I have 5 kids who are suffering right
Just like
now.
just
yeah, they
any
do
part of the
that.
world, they give you all the sub stories. Okay.
Yes,
Uh,
so
so
you
to
got to
our
be careful
viewers
with
and
that
our
too.
listeners, just like anything else in the world, things
Yeah,
Yeah.
happen.
they need to
Okay,
sub
now from there, did you ever, guys, part of your tour went to the Calgary?
Calgary.
Yeah,
Oh,
where Jesus was crucified, and
Oh
well,
yes,
part
yes,
of it. Yeah, the Via
yes. We went there.
Dolorosa.
Actually, it's part of the Church of the Sepulchre area.
okay.
It's,
Do we have pictures on that? 'Cause let's jump into that because some people are asking already on
yeah,
that, the
Church of
crucifixion. Do we have
Sepulchre.
pictures on that, yo? Because that's that whatever happened, and then there's I think I've seen one with a slab of wood. I think that's where
To
uh,
get in.
yeah, the slab of wood where people were kissing and all that, and I think
It's
that's where
difficult to get in
Christ
there.
was
You have to
buried.
be very quick because there's a guide going, okay, next. Yeah, so it's yeah, it's a very little time that you because we have a very long line, so you fall in line. So it's difficult. That's why you're lucky if let's say it's not really, not too many tourists there. Have a long line. So you go and then there's a guide inside the tomb
yeah.
of
When I was
Jesus.
when I was a kid, and we have the impression that the Calvary still is
Oh
there like
yeah.
a mountain, you
No,
know.
it's a
Yes.
No,
church.
it's no longer there because there's a lot of structures and
Churches.
buildings, and in fact they enclosed it, you know.
The church.
So, but there is they say that this is the used to be a Calvary, but it's inside the church, you know.
Right.
You have to, and it is uh, owned by another the Orthodox that section,
Right.
and so, but there's what you could see is a big altar, you know, and then there is where you have to put
Walkway.
touch,
Right.
touch the stone. They said
Right.
that's where the
Jesus
I don't
was
know
nailed.
if you're I know we have that picture, but hopefully we
Jesus
can
was
show
nailed
it
on the cross.
because that's the a lot of people. I know a lot of people. They said that there's some miracles that went on, especially when they're sick, and they touch
True.
that. And that slab or that stone was where the not the rising crowd, but that's really where Jesus was laid. Is that correct?
yes.
That's right. Going to be.
And so from Bethlehem, okay, we went back again
Sep-
to Jerusalem, okay,
Okay.
back to went back to our hotel, and we're almost close to the last days, so they brought us to the museum of
Holocaust. The
of the
Holocaust.
Holocaust, you know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Yad
Jews.
Vashem. Was that Yad Vashem?
No, that's a different one. We already passed that.
Oh, Israel Museum. Yeah.
So this the Holocaust Museum is gives us the idea of what happened to the state of
The
Israel.
Jews.
You know,
Right.
During
it's
that
kind of a,
time.
Millions
so
of
where millions
children,
of 4
especially
million
children.
Jews died.
So
When
It's a very huge.
this
Huge
museum, do they
pavilion.
show all the shoes? Because
Yes, yes,
they have it in different in Auschwitz. They have the shoes of different people,
right,
different
right.
sizes, and then the gold teeth,
Yes,
the
it's,
gold that were taken, and all that, and some clothes before they were
Right.
burned or
right.
incinerated. Yeah,
Well,
wow,
some of us want decided not to go because for them it was
traumatic,
yeah, very traumatic.
very traumatic.
Very traumatic because especially when you enter one of these dark rooms with just
Yeah.
Life,
candles or light
Candles.
wow,
representing each child that was killed.
Because during that time, according to the tourist guide Ari, children were useless. So millions of kids
yeah.
really, were killed.
That was really a sad,
Yeah,
sad
Yeah. So
that
every
was.
in our
yeah, it
history.
was really
I
sad.
Now,
think the point of putting that museum is that not to repeat, you know,
yeah,
the
Exactly.
it's a
history.
reminder. Yeah, that
Should,
all lives matters.
Yeah.
right.
And if you
Now,
have seen the movie
Schindler's
Schindler's
List.
List, you
Schindler's
know,
List, yeah.
It's
uh, there was a tree that was planted in to commemorate or to remember him.
right.
Wow. Okay, now since you the three of you went, Marita, Father JM went there twice, and then of course we have the newbie, Ferdie. We'll start with the two of you first. The among those places that you've been on that particular tour, which one would you say was more meaningful to you?
Oh,
Marita first.
the first or the second, you mean?
The first one, was it different experience from the first trip to the second trip, and was the experience almost the same, or and then which part of that whole tour did it manifested to you, like your favorite?
Yes. Well, the first one, I really was touched when I held the how do you call this? Where Jesus was born. So
Yeah,
that is still there, the glass with the brass star. That was what struck me. Now in my second, oh, and also of course, that time there were not too many people when we went inside the tomb of Jesus.
yeah,
That was where I really cried, and I felt so small that I felt like, we were all sinners, and I felt so small because you also felt the presence of God in that where he died and he rose for us, and I felt the presence of Jesus right there. I actually felt so small that, and I was feeling blessed because I felt I was a child of God. Now on my second trip here, I think the best one for me was when we cruised in the Sea of Galilee. And I enjoyed that part. And then, yeah, I like the national anthems being played, so I felt good because it was like, yeah, a merge of cultures and nations. And then we danced to Hava Nagila. Hava, I think, means Father God. So we danced to that, and then we danced to all the other disco songs, dancing. So I had fun in the Sea of Galilee.
Okay, Father JM. Oh, before
Yeah.
I give you the experience first, let's go to the newbie first. Ferdie, the first timer, among those places that you've seen, being a first timer, which one really manifested to you?
Nativity. The
Not because
nativity.
of the three ladies who hug you and cry.
It
Just want to
wasn't.
make
It
sure.
wasn't really a different. I was really mesmerized with actually the entire Jerusalem because what I get in there was you have the historical, you have the religious, you have the cultural diversity,
And kinds.
and that really is to me very different from all the places that I actually have been in the past.
Wow. Okay, Father JM.
Okay, this is my second time. So I thought my attitude at the beginning is was why should I go back there, you know? And my first experience
Been
was
there.
not as good because I think I had trouble with the Orthodox
Oh
priest.
yeah.
Because our tour guide at the first time that we visited would want me to finish the Stations of the Cross, but the
The
chapel was
Orthodox.
owned by the Orthodox, and we have to pass that. That is the Calvary, and so he asked me to stop the Stations of the Cross so that he continue to pray. So anyway, but coming to the second time, I learned more and more, you know, and there's still a lot, and I wanted to go back because I wanted to learn more about this place where Jesus was born because there's a lot of things to know about it. But for me, one of the striking site or place was when I saw the panoramic view of Jerusalem, especially coming out from we were in the bus and we were singing this Jerusalem, my destiny, you know. So it was really a moving experience for me. This place is also remind us of the fidelity, you know, the faithfulness of God. That despite of these hard-head, hard-headedness of these people, you know, uh, God is still never tired of loving. So Jerusalem is reminds of each, you know, of each one of us, you know. God loves us despite of our sinfulness, and He is faithful to His land, His people of Israel, you know.
Wow. Ferdy, since you had this experience and you enjoyed the nativity so much with the three ladies, that will stick to my mind for the longest time. So, being that this is your first time, are you saying that you would do it again
Yes,
in a
I will
heartbeat?
do it again because, like what Father said, there's so many things that you have to learn. There are so many things that you have to see. Uh, yeah, the experience is really different, especially meeting with different cultures. The only thing that actually uh, surprised me was on the third day, I'm trying to find McDonald's. Food was so different over there. There's so many vegetables and vegetables and vegetables over there. I'm
Mediterranean.
thinking, yeah, but
Mediterranean.
So did you
but at
Mediterranean.
find
the same
any
time,
McDonald's?
aside from that, the experience is really phenomenal. And I have experience with a phenomenal group. Let's just put it this way too, as well as having Father over there, Father Mike. It was something that you have to think of and just say, I want to go back over there because the culture, religiously, as well as historically, there's so many things that you have to learn.
Wow. Well, maybe we should all plan for 2024.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Pretty
really.
fun.
I, I will definitely walk with you,
Father,
Ferdie,
wait.
and we'll look for those three ladies.
Yes.
I could try with them as
Hopefully
well.
they'll be there again.
So maybe I'll offline. I'll talk to you for 2024, and maybe I could join your group, and
Oh,
we go from there.
May
But I think I would
magbagal.
like. I had so many goosebumps just listening to your story, not
It's not
only from you,
able.
Ferdy, but from Marita as well as definitely from Father JM, because there's so many things that I have so many questions and being raised Catholic and now Christian, so I'm quite fascinated with the things that happen with historically, and I'm very fascinated, and of course the supreme being Jesus Christ was one of you know as they said John 3:16.
Mm.
Anyway, anything else you want to share? Because I know I'm keeping you up. We've been on this one 2 hours, and I know there's a
Yeah.
special number that you guys are gonna do before we end the show. So a message, Father JM first. This time I'm gonna give you the message first to do.
A
I'll
message
be
siya
the
daw.
last one.
A last
Oh,
day siya.
okay.
I want,
Marita first.
but I don't think there's time. I just wanted to sing the song for yeah, for this. It's about the second commandment of God. Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Okay. How about
Thank you
Fergie?
so
Any
much.
message?
Thank you so much.
Thirds.
Papa,
Oh,
Oh, message.
um, I encourage our audience to actually experience what we have experienced in Israel. It's something that you will actually look forward in seeing.
Mm, yeah. But hopefully we don't look for McDonald's.
Yes.
yeah. In the,
Father JM, any message?
Well, as soon as I got to the airport on our way back,
I
I
could just
hit
imagine.
McDonald's first.
yeah.
Father JM, message to the people.
Well, as you see, pilgrimage is always a moment, an encounter with God. And whenever you had the opportunity, take it, because somehow uh, being there, when you read the gospel, you you heard it, but you also imagine, the places where
Yeah.
Jesus.
It
And
happened.
when you're there, it becomes more and more. The gospel has a different effect on you. Okay,
Alive.
I
It's
guess
it's
alive.
become more alive.
yeah,
Yeah.
I guess it's like
Although, as I said during our discussion, there are some places that we missed to describe to you because
It's a lot.
there's a reason for that. Maybe he wanted you to come and experience.
well, once we have
He
a
wants you to
better, maybe
experience.
because I think one of the things that we had difficulty is getting the material because
Yeah.
I think the next trip we do more of a video, so at least
Yes. Yes.
it will be more encompassing and more uh, engaging. Because sometimes picture alone doesn't really speak much.
Right.
Because
Right.
like me as an observer, I think it's rock. Luckily for us, you we have the three of you who are able to successfully explain it to us. So
The Sea of Galilee was not played.
Were you were you going to play the video?
Maybe a passing ending.
yeah, yo,
The
do
Sea
you
of
have the Sea
Galilee.
of Galilee? because anything that you sent to us, I forwarded to our station. Was
Yeah.
so
I mean the video
what's
clip,
The
yeah.
video clip. Yeah.
what's on that video?
It's
Actually the
the
summary of
cruise.
Oh,
The
some
summary.
the summary, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
summary.
He
Yo,
has a
if you're
summary of
there,
Holy
if
Land. It
not,
says Holy Land.
I don't know if they found it, but if not, what we could do is if we don't find it, it's okay.
Okay.
Um, what we could do is next week we'll do portion of that first as a tale of that,
Mm.
because that's the reason why I want all those videos labeled. So
Yeah.
ever we'll have a second tour next time, I'll be
Yes.
the one narrating.
Okay.
Right, because
Yeah,
And one
live.
thing, one thing
Because
before
I'll be
we
joining
close
you.
on
Now, do we
to
still
that
have a
tonight,
special number before we end?
like Ferdie wants to say something.
Yeah, Ferdie.
just wanted to say that I wanted to thank our group. Now the group is very solid.
Yes.
We're like really families. This trip actually gave us the chance to actually find new families and be
Right.
with them, not only religiously, but also as a family.
Yeah,
Wow.
we have a fellowship
So
once a
for
month.
what it's worth, that's one thing. The camaraderie and the new friendship and new relationship
Right.
you were able to forge. That's awesome. That's aside from the experience, the spiritual experience, that will be so awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, before we end, as always, I always advise us, our viewers, don't go yet because we have a special number as we close our show. I always tell people to be kind. You can never ever go wrong with being kind or with kindness. It's so difficult recently, and especially with all the things that's happening in the world. And as always, I always advise our viewers and friends, family, as well as acquaintances that any act of kindness that we do to other people, uh, it will be returned to us in so many ways, so many forms, in so many times, and that has been proven time and time again. And I like what Father JM earlier said about the blessing, the reminder of Mama Mary that while he was telling us about the three aspects of the Blessed Virgin. Staba, I remember,
Yeah.
Pia, it reminded me about a passage, and maybe Father Jem, you could help me. That they said, "Too much is given, much is required." I think we always remember that. I don't know what the passage of that or where it was taken, but I know it is in the Holy Book, and
Yes.
I know, as they said, meaning much blessing is given, and then much is required. So if you're blessed, try to bless others as well, so their blessings will be multiplied that you can never imagine, as they said. And I always remember that they say you cannot outgive the giver, and the giver is the Lord Jesus Christ. And that's
Wonderful.
Amen.
my 2 cents worth for all this. And I really thank the three of you. One, for staying so late. I know you we kept you so late because I said this will be a difficult show to do if it's a tape as live show, because I would never be able to describe all the things that you shared. I know it's like 1 o'clock there in where you are, 1 or almost 2 o'clock. I know Father JM. Hopefully, Father JM, you could say your mass tomorrow because I know you're very active. And with my young inaanaks, Marita and
Yeah.
Ferdie, for sure that I'm taking so much of their sleep, but I know it
Thank you.
blessed.
Thank
Like
you
what I
for
said,
having us, Ninong.
yeah,
Thank you so much
watching
for
this.
having us.
Sure, because
We'll
watching
do
this,
it again.
yeah, I would love you guys to come back again and again and again, especially with any new single that Father JM would be able to perform. In the first show that we did a long time ago, he was still kind of like shaky and nervous. Now he did three language in one song. It's amazing. So
Sorry, no.
so with that amazing, you guys, thank you so much. The sacrifices, I know, as I've said, this show, I know it will be replayed by our team replay. I know it will open more eyes not only for Catholics but also Christians, brothers, sisters, and even non-Catholics to go and for whatever it's worth. It's always go to the Holy Land and see it, experience it, and you never know the epiphany, maybe the conversion as part of the mystery of the luminous. They said is the conversion, the call to action. You never know. This might be part of it, and you will be touched in so many ways in different forms. So why not give it a try? And you never know. As they said, God always work in mysterious ways that we can never explain and don't even bother. And with that, maraming salamat. But I before we go, I would like for one of you. I know you guys have one special song to leave to us before you go. Is it Father JM who's gonna be sing?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a lullaby.
Okay.
Since we are about to
About to
sleep
sleep.
now. Okay. This is a song of Billy Joel.
Oh wow. Uh, uh, not as it's a secular song. Okay.
Yeah.
Secular.
It's a secular song, but at the same time, it has a way of saying thank you so much for having us. And also, would like to greet for those, for your listeners. We assure them of our prayers. And we thank you. And we pray for your wonderful ministry. Okay.
And your viewers, don't forget, or else they're gonna say they only send me these weak listeners, or viewers as well.
Of course, our viewers. I'm sorry.
Okay, just to let you guys know, you are more
Viewers and
than
listeners.
welcome to come back again and again. Because I know, for what it's worth, I know there's a lot of people by this show. It touches so many souls. It so touches so many hearts, and I believe that every show, especially this particular show, would can change people's lives.
So again, thank you for our viewers. Thank you for
The pleasure is mine.
maraming salamat po sa mga taga Houston. Okay?
Be
Nakikinig
well.
at sa lahat sa buong mundo.
Yeah, yung mga si Nathan Passion at saka yung asawa niya, maraming salamat si Susan. You guys, thank you for bearing with us. I know, but I know the team replay, happy viewing. Si Catherine Cruz, thank you for staying up. Marcos, Marcos, Susan Passion, I said already. Roy Nick Hernandez, Bobby Reyes, Sunny Francisco, and then of course Erlinda Gulayan Cercado, and then of course my good friend Johan, and then who else? If I missed you, I am so sorry. But Josephine Castillo, Dan Manuel, hello, and happy viewing. And I know some people watching us from different parts of the world. Maraming salamat. And now I'll give the floor to our singing Catholic priest.
Maraming salamat po sa lahat, sa
Stay,
inyong lahat.
stay early, no?
Sa Marisa Travel,
Pray for
especially.
you. We pray for you.
Remy celebrating her birthday, and for all our friends, for those who are part of our ministry, you know. So for everyone, okay, our friends, especially for our Holy Land group, right?
Right.
Holy Land group.
Our-
You're very part of us. For
Yeah.
Carmela,
We'll
thank
see
you so
them
much
on Sunday.
for joining us. So the title of this song is "Good Night, My Angel."
Stay well, Ninong.
Stay well.
We pray for you. Pagaling ka.
Thank you.
Good night, my angel. Time to close your eyes and save these questions for another day. I think I know what you've been asking me. I think you know what I've been trying to say. I promise I would never leave you. And you should always know, wherever you may go, no matter where you are, I never will be far away. Good night, my angel, now it's time to sleep. And still so many things I want to say. Remember all the songs you sang for me when we went sailing on an emerald bay. And like a boat out on the ocean, I'm rocking you to sleep. The water's dark and deep inside this ancient heart. You'll always be a part of me. Good night, my angel, now it's time to dream. And dream how wonderful your life will be. Someday your child may cry, and if you sing this lullaby, then in your heart there will always be a part of me. Someday we'll all be gone, but lullaby on and on. They never die, that's how you and I will be. Thank you so much, boss. Thank you so much.
Another song to end our show. And with that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I have a brand new show tomorrow. And I definitely it's a live because everybody's saying, is it going to be a play tomorrow? No, regardless whether I'm sick or I'm going through something, it's live tomorrow for Dear Kuya Joe. So with that, don't leave you guys. I'll just close the show and then I'll chit-chat with you a little bit. Hang on there. So with that, maraming salamat po. And those people who are watching us or will be watching us, happy viewing to everyone. I hope, like what I said, not only you will be watching all these videos and pictures and meeting our 3 special guests, but also I really hope and sincerely pray that you are blessed with this particular show. And with that, maraming salamat po. God bless us all. You have a wonderful, wonderful week for next week. And whatever's left of this week, you might, I wish you all the best and be safe. And I know in some parts of the country it's very hot. So stay cool, be hydrated, and God bless us all. In Jesus Christ, we pray. Okay?
Amen.
See you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.
God bless.
God bless. Don't hang up.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Ninong.
Hang up.
Bye bye.
Usap
Bye, everybody.